I'm Andrew Ward. I'm the pastor of GracePoint Church. I think that means I basically sweep the floors as needed. We're looking at a different spot, and that one kind of was seemingly starting to fall through. Some difficulties were coming, and I always like to have a plan B, C, and D. So once I started getting that feeling where stuff wasn't coming together, I started driving around town just looking for different spaces, and this is actually one of the first spaces that we looked at. What attracted us to this location was it's still fairly close to downtown. We've been a part of Biddeford since we started. We love that. We love Biddeford. So to be able to keep in Biddeford and keep fairly close. Parking was something that we didn't have in the other location. We had like 4 spaces total. So we really wanted something with some parking. And we were also concerned we didn't want to move to just the same size building because we already had 2 services. So to make us move to a similar size doesn't really help. And so those pieces were criteria that kind of fit. And then we really wanted an area that the kids area could be secured and locked down. And so we're really excited. This space is really conducive to having a secured kid zone. And so that was one of the other criteria that we looked at. So yeah, we just poked around in a couple of buildings, and we actually were working a couple at different times, and this one just came together really nicely. It fit the criteria. There's room to expand as we need to. There's room to expand parking as we need to. So it gives us some long-term flexibility. Excited. The building's been a part of the community for 50, 60 years. A lot of events, have been held here. Anyone who's been in town probably longer than 10 years has been to a birthday party here, or a wedding, or a prenuptial dance. And so we're thrilled to be able to open that back up to the community. I even heard that the Girl Scouts used to host their cookie drive here. So semi trucks of Girl Scout cookies come here, something definitely want to put a plug in for that. But we're definitely love to host that here. And we're excited to really open, once we get the renovations wrapped up, open this building back up to the community. We know it's been important to the community, and we're thrilled to be able to see that continue. And that was one of the things that the club that sold it to us wanted, is that they didn't want to see it turn into housing or something. They know it's been important to them and to the community, and so we wanted to be able to continue that, see that legacy. So yeah, we're really excited. This is a zebra. If you don't know that, this is a zebra. I didn't think I was going to be giving a zoology lesson this morning, but okay. Why does a zebra have stripes? Well, most people say it's for camouflage, right? Which makes sense. But I was told growing up, it's move us from one non-church looking building to the next, just to remind us, so that we don't forget that the church isn't a building, that the church isn't a facility, it's not a location, it's the people. And it's the people that are unified and redeemed and purchased by the blood of Jesus.
I don't like people though.
So, I just need your name and what do you do?
I'm Richard Mariello, and I am the sound and tech guy.
Tech guy.
The tech guy.
So, how has the COVID affected what you do?
Well, at the old building at Adams Street, we had a Macintosh computer and an old school soundboard with old school projectors. And now we have a new computer, new soundboard, new light board, new projectors, new stage display, new TVs. Other than that, not much.
The biggest changes?
Biggest changes is we've gone from a small auditorium that's easy to control sound to a much larger auditorium where sound is everywhere. Also, learning how to use a new program for sound that we've never used before, and changing computers for something I'm used to, very easy peasy to, oh, totally brand new, and yeah.
It's definitely added a couple components because we've been trying to get ready for the move and get things done here. At the same time, maintaining services and continuing to grow at the other space. So I think it's definitely added a little bit of workload, but it's also been an incredible time to see a lot of people step up. We found out a whole bunch of skills that people had that we didn't know that they had, which is really awesome. And it's been a really fun opportunity to see people build friendships and relationships that they hadn't gotten to hang out with people before. So there's definitely a couple pieces that I've enjoyed through the process. It's added a little bit of workload, but it's been a lot of fun.
So a lot of people think what we do with kids is just babysit or childcare, but our mission back there is to teach kids to love God and love others. So everything we do and say, whether it's during playtime or whether it's during teaching time, is redirecting kids in their love towards God or their love towards others.
When you know to do right and you choose to do wrong, the Bible calls that a sin. Do you know what a sin is, boys and girls? When you know to do right and you choose to do wrong, that is a sin.
So the mission back there in everything we do is to love God and love others. It's written on the t-shirts, it's written on the walls, it's everywhere to teach these kids to love God and love others. So Grace Kids has changed in that there will be one check-in, one door that the kids go through to get to their area. It'll be much more secure, which I hope will give parents a feeling of confidence when they leave their kids with us, that their kids are not only receiving great gospel, but they're also receiving very safe and appropriate child care.
Roman, can you write your name on here?
Double high five, because you did so good.
All the classrooms are more age appropriate, broken down. So we used to have 3 groups, and now we're dividing into 5 groups. So kids that before were just watched will now be taught about God. So I'm very excited about that part.
There was a big divide, would you say, like an age gap?
Yes, we had non-readers and readers together. We had your 2-year-olds and 5-year-olds together, which developmentally are very different in the 3 groups. And now that we have 5 groups, we have them much more age appropriate.
I'm Lisa Norber, and I spent the last 4 months painting this place and taking care of the cafe, and nobody is happier to see it done than I am. No, it was a great process. We had a good time, and it is well worth it because everybody who comes in is going to feel right at home. They're going to feel loved. They're going to feel the presence of the Lord. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get the presence of the Lord in here so that when people walk through those doors, they know that there's something different about this place. And the cafe, drawing them in with nice hot coffee, iced coffee, and iced tea, and cold lemonade. Since it's getting warm, it's going to be 77 today, right? Woo! All right. So that's what we tried to accomplish, and I think we made our goal. I really do. I think we made our goal. So.
Do you remember your first experience again?
I do. It was much smaller. I think the first Sunday was 11 people, and one of those was my 9-month-old or something like that at the time. And so it was a lot smaller, but I think the things that characterized it at the time is that relational aspect. the people caring about each other, trying to communicate the gospel in a way that connects to people who live today and maybe haven't grown up in church or familiar with that. Those pieces are the same now. It's grown a lot, and every time like someone joins the church and becomes part of the body, it's always exciting because they bring like a different personality and a different set of skills and a different background. So the abilities have changed and the nuances changed and new personalities have added to that. But a lot of what started it is very similar to today. We've never really met in like a fancy cathedral-like building. We started off in like a mill space that they had the lines painted on the floor still from where the machines used to sit, and it was really hot in the summer and really cold in the winter. But the church is much more than just a building. It's about the people, and so I think because we've never had those fancy buildings, it's allowed us to really understand and appreciate what the church really is, and that's the people. And so the facilities are awesome. I mean, we're grateful to have some upgrades here, but really the people are what makes the church.
I actually came when they were in the mill. And my first experience was we got lost because we couldn't quite find it. We were going up and down the hallways of the mill. But when I came in, I liked it. I liked the hominess of it. I liked Pastor Andrew. I really liked his mission. And of course, that's why we stayed, because I liked his vision. And so that's why, we put time into this place because we understand and appreciate the vision that there is a real big need in southern Maine for God. And that's exactly why we do everything that we do.
Your first experience
At GracePoint, I came in on a Sunday, we were church hopping, and they had a missionary preaching, and I liked it, but what caught my eye was the old iMac laptop, school laptop, plastic white that they were running the entire system off of. And I told my wife, I said, honey, if we come here, we're gonna have to buy them a new computer because I can't take this. So after day one, I'm like, this can't work.
Okay, so what made you come back?
The passion. People weren't fake friendly. They were really friendly. They cared that you were there. They cared that you existed. It wasn't about, we need our numbers. It wasn't about we need the money. It was about we need people here because people need God. And that was the message, plain and simple. It's not about the dollar bills. It's about making sure people hear the message, and that's the most important thing.